Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and this doesn't look familiar, does it? It's because it's not. I'm actually in a new space. I'm in a temporary space, which is what you're seeing here for the next 2 to 3 months. Before we get into the video, quick life update. My wife and I just recently moved to Florida where we're building a new home, and we're currently in a temporary house. So this setup isn't the nicest, it's not the flashiest. It's missing my lightsabers and my cool desk, but all that will come back as soon as our house is ready. For now, this little corner will do. But guys, today I wanted to do a video on this bad boy right here, the Sandmarc 3 to 6 stop ND filter. So Sandmarc actually reached out to me and asked me if I was interested in reviewing any of their filters, and I immediately jumped on the opportunity to check out this 3 to 6 stop ND filter. Now, just like in my previous videos, Sandmarc did not pay me, nor do they have any influence on what I say in this video. This is purely my opinion. But I jumped on the opportunity for an ND filter for 2 reasons. One, I've mentioned before, I'm getting more into video, and as you guys know, I love shooting at f1.2, so the only way to shoot true cinematic footage at f1.2 is if you have an ND filter. Because if you want to follow the 180-degree shutter rule, which means if you're shooting at 4K 60, which is kind of my preferred frame rate right now, I need to be at 120th of a second shutter speed. And if I'm shooting at f1.2 in broad daylight, it's going to be impossible. That's where an ND filter comes in, where you're able to get your 180-degree shutter angle and still be able to shoot wide open. And the second reason, I don't know if you've seen, it's kind of coming up a lot with a lot of YouTube photographers. A few years ago, all the hype was around high-speed sync, right? All the cool things you can do with high-speed sync, and it seems like all that's shifted to now shooting with ND filters. Why? Because if you shoot with an ND filter, you're able to actually shoot with your camera's sync speed. Now, I'm shooting with a Canon EOS R6 right now. The sync speed is 250th of a second, which means I can use a small flash like this at 1/250th or 1/200th of a second and get more power output than I would if I used the same flash with high-speed sync. Now, what a lot of these photographers are doing, again, Manny Ortiz or Francisco, I'll put links down below, their content is amazing, is downsizing their equipment. Instead of having these crazy strobes that are huge, they're going down to smaller, more portable, lightweight strobes and shooting with an ND filter, so you can shoot at the sync speed. So I wanted to test both things out. But before I do more talking, let me go ahead and roll some B-roll that I shot with the Canon EOS R6, the RF50 1.2 at 1.2, 4K 60 with a 3 to 6 stop Sandmarc ND filter, and let's see the results. So what did y'all think? I was actually extremely impressed. Now with ND filters, one thing I've heard a lot is if you get a cheaper ND filter, you get a color cast. Some added color introduced into the image, and it just ruins kind of what you're working with. Now, obviously shooting with Canon, using that Canon color science, that's the last thing you want to do. And this ND filter did not introduce any color cast that I noticed. It actually looked amazing. And I shot with it mostly at 6 stops of ND so I can shoot at 1.2 in broad daylight. I purposefully shot this video around 5 p.m. Sunset's around 7 p.m. So 2 hours before sunset, or an hour to hour and a half before when I normally shoot, so I can put this ND filter to the test. And again, from the video quality perspective, it definitely impressed me. And for photo, I also wanted to put the ND filter to the test to see if it was enough to be able to use a regular flash at 5 p.m. and still shoot at 1.2 and get amazing results. I'll be putting up those images from now on as I'm talking. As you can see, the images are amazing, and this regular Flashpoint R2 flash was more than enough power. I was actually shooting with it about 1/16 power to half power with the actual ND filter in place to be able to shoot at f1.2 and at the sync speed of my camera. I will be linking Manny Ortiz and Francisco's video below so you can check out their explanation of why they're shooting with ND filters and smaller strobes. But overall, guys, I just wanted to do my first impressions on the Sandmarc 3 to 6 stop ND filter. It retails for $159 and I have no complaints. It's actually extremely thin. I was still able to fit my lens hood over the lens. It's made out of metal. It's got hard stops from minimum to maximum. And overall, not a bad filter. Again, the most impressive part here is there's no color cast to the image that I noticed. If you notice it, please let me know in the comments below. Overall though, this ND filter is easy to recommend. But guys, have y'all tried shooting with an ND filter for video or photos? Now, this is a primarily photo-focused YouTube channel, so obviously if you shoot video primarily, of course you have. But for photographers, have you tried it? Let me know in the comments below. But guys, as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Peace.